new strength, and new possibilities. Respected chief guest, esteemed principal of our institution, treasured and endured professors of our college, recognized professors, research scholars, and participants from various institutions, and my beloved friends. It's a great pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to this international webinar organized by the Department of Zoology, Sadakathullah Appa College. I extend my gracious welcome to everyone present here on behalf of the Department of Zoology, Sadakathullah Appa College. Let us all cooperatively make this webinar a great success. Thank you. And a kind notice for all the participants, the feedback link will be provided at the end of the program and the certificates will be issued only after filling the feedback form. Thank you. Successful indeed are the believers, those who humble themselves in their prayer. Now, I kindly request Al-Hafil Mr. M.K. Nohulabai of 2nd MSc Zoology to give this program a good start by reciting a few verses from the Holy Quran. Please.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الرحمن علم القرآن خلق الإنسان علمه البيان الشمس والقمر بحسبان والنجم والشجر يسجدان والسماء رفعها ووضع الميزان ألا تطغوا في الميزان وأقيموا الوزن بالقسط ولا تخسروا الميزان والأرض ووضعها للأنام فيها فاكهة والنخل ذات الأكمام والحب ذو الأصف والريحان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان خلق الإنسان من صلصال كالفخار وخلق الجان من مارج من نار فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان رب المشرقين ورب المغربين فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان مرج البحرين يلتقيان بينهما برزخ لا يبغيان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام فبأي آلاء ربكما تكذبان صدق الله العظيم. The Holy Quran, chapter 55, Surah Al-Rahman. In the name of Allah, entirely merciful and especially merciful, the most merciful, taught the Quran, created man, and taught him elegance. The sun and moon move by precious calculation, and the star and trees prostrate. And the heaven he raised and imposed the balance, that you not transgress within the balance, and establish weight in justice and do not make deficient the balance. And the earth he lit out for the creature. The rain is fruit, and palm trees having sheath of dates, and grain having husks, and scented plants. So which of the favors your Lord would you deny? He created man from clay like that of pottery, and he created the jinn from a smokeless flame of fire. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? He is Lord of the two sunrise and Lord of the two sunset. So which of the favors your Lord would you deny? He released the two seeing side by side, which means transgresses. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? From both of them emerge pearl and coral. So which of the favors your Lord would you deny? And to him belonged the ship with sail, elevated in the sea like mountain. So which of the favors of your Lord would you deny? Thank you, Almighty Allah. Thank you to all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you, Mr. Nuhulebai. A small cheer and a great welcome makes a merry feast. Some fear the fire and some simply become it. Now, I kindly call upon one such personality, Dr. M. Siddhi Jamila ma'am, Associate Professor and Head of our department, to welcome the gathering. Please, ma'am.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent and merciful. Respected principal, respected vice principal, respected resource person, my dear colleagues, dear participants from various colleges and our college, Assalamu alaikum, and a very happy good morning to you all. First of all, it is my pleasure to welcome our beloved and respected principal, Dr. M. Muhammad Sadiq sir, to this international webinar. He is very kind enough to accept our invitation and gave his consent to preside over this international webinar and also to open up a short video today regarding COVID-19 awareness. On behalf of the Department of Zoology, faculty members and students, I welcome you, sir, to this international seminar. Next, I would like to welcome our beloved Vice Principal, sir, Dr. S.M.A. Syed Mohammad Khaja, sir, to this international seminar. I would like to thank him for having his concern to felicitate this international webinar. On behalf of the Department of Zoology, students, faculty members, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
And I feel very honored to invite and welcome our speaker, today's speaker, Dr. Marimuthu sir, Professor, Department of Biotechnology, AMMST University, Malaysia. I'm very much happy and grateful for the acceptance of our invitation, and is willing to share his valuable knowledge on aquaculture. On behalf of our secretary, our principal, vice principal, faculty members and students of Department of Zoology, I welcome you, sir. Next, a warm and hearty welcome to our department faculty members, Dr. Zahir Hussain sir, Dr. Mohammad Ramlat Sabra ma'am, Dr. Peer Mohammad sir, assistant professors of zoology of the Department of UG and other PG department faculty members to this international webinar. And I deem it a great pleasure in welcoming all the participants from various colleges and universities and our college, which includes scientists from SIBA and SIFA, learned professors, research scholars, undergraduate and postgraduate students. On behalf of the principal and the Department of Zoology, I welcome you all the participants. Thanks to the resource person and the topic he has chosen, nearly about 500 participants have registered so far, which includes the participants from overseas like China and Malaysia, and various participants from other states like UP, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Nagaland, Chhattisgarh, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, uh, Delhi, Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Bihar, Maharashtra, Odisha, Goa, and Haryana were also registered to this international webinar. I'm very happy to tell the participants and other members that our college has completed 50 years and we're going to celebrate Golden Jubilee this year, inshallah. I thank the Almighty for his continuous blessings towards us and our college. And once again, I welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, I'm happy to invite Dr. M. Mohammed Sadiq, Principal, Sadakathullah Appa College, a man of words and also of deeds, to ignite our minds with his thought-provoking words. Please, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. If you could count up the favors of God, never would you be able to number them. For God is all forgiving and most merciful, says the Holy Quran. Respected chief guest of this fine occasion, Dr. Professor K. Marimuthu, Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Applied Sciences, Amist University, Jalan Bidang, Semling, Malaysia. Really, I am very proud to have such a wonderful chief guest today amidst us. His PhD in Zoology, Environmental Biotechnology. In the year 2003, he has completed his PhD. 18 years of research work could have made him a matured scientist and really a great scholar. I am very happy that he is in very many editorial boards and life membership in various societies. And he has evaluated around 330 PhD theses. Such a wonderful personality amidst us. Really, I am congratulating the Department of Zoology for inviting such a wonderful personality to our webinar. Welcome you, sir. Respected convener and the head of the Department of Zoology, Dr. M. Siti Jamila, madam. The organizing secretary, Dr. M. Zahir Hussain, the placement coordinator also of our college. And today, I'm very proud that 3 of our research scholars, Mrs. Sajida Subin, Mr. Mari Vignesh, and Mr. Ram Kumar, they have developed a short video on how to conquer the COVID crisis. Really, I have gone through the video. Such a wonderful contents they have given, and the presentation, amazing presentation. Really, I'm very happy that such activities, enthusiastic activities in the researchers. Really, it's appreciable, and I congratulate for that the head of the Department of Zoology, Dr. Siti Jamila, madam, and Dr. M. Zahir Hussain, and the faculty members for motivating the research scholars to come out with these beautiful contents. And today we are having the international webinar on recent trends in immunostimulants application in aquaculture industry. It's a very important topic nowadays. It's a recent trends we have to look into. And as our head of the Department of Zoology, Dr. Samila madam told, there are so many participants from all over the country of our country and all over the world. and really it's a inspiring effort taken by the Department of Zoology. It's an example. The Zoology department is an example to all the other departments of our college, and they are conducting more number of webinars this month also. I hope this is the third webinar they are conducting, and really I'm very proud of the HOD and the placement officers of our college for sacrificing their time and everything for the development of the institution. I welcome Dr. Abdul Qadir, the Controller of Examinations, Dr. Kannamutaya, the Deputy Controller of Examinations, the Dean of Arts, Dr. Hanif, the Dean of Sciences, Dr. Roshan, the Dean of Student Affairs, Dr. Rashida Begum Madam, the Dean of Digital Learning, Dr. Shajunisha Madam, the Dean of Research, Dr. Badisha, and the Dean of Sports of our college, Sultana Barwin, and the Barzar of our college, Dr. Abu Salih Sheikh, and the head of the departments of various faculty, and the friends and the members from friendly institutions all over the country and all over the world, and the students of Zoology department. I congratulate the total effort is to be a great success with the grace of Allah the Almighty. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving a great start for the program. In the space of just a few weeks, our daily lives have changed drastically. The coronavirus is now everywhere and is mercilessly hunting people down. The virus is changing the game and has turned our normal lives upside down. The number of new COVID cases is steadily marching to a top crest. The most valuable resource that all of us have is each other. Only by our cooperation and collaboration, we can overcome this pandemic catastrophe. And here is a small initiative by the research scholars under the guidance of Dr. M. Siddhi Jamila and Dr. M.I. Zahir Hussain Sir, Department of Zoology, to create an awareness on how to handle the disease in a way that would benefit the common public. Now, I kindly request our principal, Dr. M. Mohammad Sadiq Sir, to issue this video. Please, sir.
Yes, I'm very happy to release the video titled How to Conquer the COVID Crisis by Mrs. Sajida Subin and Mrs. R. Mari Vignesh and Mr. R. S. Ramkumar. All the three have done a very laudable job and creating a short film and awareness on the COVID crisis, how to escape from all those things, the disastrous pandemic of nowadays. And really, I congratulate. I'm very happy to release the video now. Now I'm releasing. Please.
Hi everyone, this is Sanjita, Research Scholar, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Sadakathullah Appa College. I have made a small initiative to create awareness about the coronavirus. So let's get into the video. In this video, I'm gonna clarify some frequently asked questions on these vaccines, like what do they contain, how do they work, and some do's and don'ts before and after you get vaccinated. People in the 18 to 45 age group has accounted for 51% of spike in the COVID-19 cases. 18 to 45 age group people are tested positive, but they don't take proper treatment and spread it to the elderly population. That is why our government has initiated a vaccine drive for the 18 to 45 age group especially. How do these vaccines work? Like any other vaccines, the coronavirus vaccines also contain weakened or inactive parts of the virus that when injected can create an immune response in our body. To be simple, these vaccines teach our immune system to recognize and fight the coronavirus when it infects our body. It typically takes a few days after vaccination for the body to build up immunity against this virus. So these vaccines dramatically reduce the likelihood of being infected. Two types of COVID vaccines are being used in India. One is the Covishield and the other one is the Covaxin. Both the vaccines are safe with minor side effects as expected in any other types of vaccine. Both these vaccines are available in 2 doses and it is mandatory to take these 2 doses for optimum protection, and both the doses has the same type of the viral particles. And while you get vaccinated, it is important to ensure that both the doses are of the same vaccine type. The Indian government has recommended the time interval between the first and the second doses to be 12 to 16 weeks. Who can use these vaccines? Anyone above the age of 18 and older can use this vaccine. What are the side effects of receiving the vaccine? And common side effects include swelling or redness where the injection is given, fever, vomiting or diarrhea, pain in legs or arms, flu-like symptoms such as high temperature, sore throat, runny nose, cough and chills. If you decide to get vaccinated, please keep the following points in your mind. Eat well before you get your shot. Do not take the vaccine on an empty stomach. Drink plenty of water and stay hydrated. Get a peaceful sleep at night. Do not take any medications unless it is prescribed by your doctor before vaccination to avoid any side effects. Do not smoke or consume alcohol before getting vaccinated. Please remember to inform the healthcare provider at the vaccination center if you have any allergies. And what to do after getting vaccinated. Do not leave the vaccination center immediately after getting your vaccine shot. Stay there for at least 30 minutes so that the healthcare provider at the vaccination center may note any adverse reactions. Know that mild side effects like fever and body pain are common up to 3 days of the vaccination. Use only paracetamol for fever, which will be prescribed by your healthcare provider. Do not use any painkillers or drugs that are not prescribed by your doctors. Drink plenty of fluids and stay hydrated. Avoid smoking or consumption of alcohol for the next 2 or 3 days. Avoid rigorous exercise or physical activities. Enrich your meals with fruits and vegetables that are rich in antioxidants. A person is considered fully vaccinated only after 2 weeks following the second dose of the COVID vaccination. So, till you are fully vaccinated, always wear your mask and follow physical distancing. This ensures your safety and also protects the unvaccinated people in your circle if you are silent carriers of the virus. So, even after vaccination, never ever forget to wear your mask. Finally, I'd like to insist that you always wear a mask, and it is better if it is a double mask. Follow social distancing and sanitize frequently, and let's fight the virus.
Hi everybody, this is Mari Vignesh, Research Scholar, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Sadakathullah Appa College, Tirunelveli. Hope all of you are safe. Prevention is better than cure. It is important to boost up your immunity during this COVID crisis. While using a mask and maintaining physical distancing are the key to a COVID-free world. Getting vaccinated is advisable. Apart from these, it is important to stay healthy and boost up your immunity. Here are some immune boosting foods that may help your body to strengthen our immune system. WHO, World Health Organization, recommends to have at least 2 to 3 serving of fruits every day for healthy body. Fruits that are rich in ascorbic acid like amla, oranges, lemons, etc. are good immune boosters. It is also better in includes fruits like papaya, etc. So eat fruits in plenty and keep your body healthy. Green leafy vegetables like cabbage, spinaches, etc. are packed with antioxidants. So don't hesitate to eat your greens. Also include other vegetables like carrots, cucumbers, tomatoes, etc. So never fail to have vegetables on your tables. Spices have always been used in our traditional medicine and is an inevitable part of the Indian cuisines. So include spices like ginger, pepper, cinnamon, etc. So add a little spice to your life. So let's eat healthy, stay strong and live long. Let's not live in fear. Let's live with faith. Thank you.
Hello all, this is Ramesh Kumar, a research scholar, PG and Research Department of Zoology, Sadakathullah Appa College. I pray for the safety of everyone. We are all facing the COVID crisis and it is a great challenge for all of us. We all know that the virus is spread through droplets of an infected person, and these droplets can also be loaded on to surface. It is very important to use face mask whenever we step out of our house. Many masks like a cloth mask, surgical mask, N95 and different type of mask available. So always wear a mask of your choice whenever you are outside or not able to maintain social distancing. And most importantly, never neglect a mask in your family gathering and your friend circle, because the virus never discriminates against your family, friends or strangers. Now it is advised by doctors and scientists to wear a double mask, pair of two different masks of your choice, like a surgical mask with a cloth mask or an N95 with a cloth mask. Also never hesitate to maintain physical distancing among your family even during small get-together. Safety is hidden in Corona itself. C stands for clean your hands, O stands for off-ramp gatherings, R stands rise your immunity, O stands for only step out with a mask, N for no handshakes, A for always maintain physical distancing. So stay alert and stay safe. We shall win the war against Corona. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. I thank our respected principal for his kind encouragement. We also thank Dr. M. Siti Jamila ma'am and Dr. M. A. Zahir Hussain sir for their kind motivation. And I also thank everyone for your kind support. Thank you. Now I kindly invite Dr. SMA Syed Mohammad Haja sir, Vice Principal, to felicitate the event with his kind and encouraging words. Please, sir.
I begin in the name of Almighty, the most gracious and the most benevolent. Good morning and Assalamu alaikum to all. The Almighty shows the peace and mercy to all of us. Respected Principal of our college, Dr. M. Mohammad Shadiq, respected resource person, Dr. Waributtu, Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Applied Sciences, AMS University, Valencia, respected Head, Department of Zoology and convener of this webinar, Dr. Siti Jamila, respected the organizing secretary and the placement cell coordinator, Dr. M. Zahir Hussain, and the faculty members of Zoology Department and scholars, and respected Controller of Examinations, Deputy Controller of Examinations, IQAC coordinator, and Dean of Arts, Dean of Sciences, and Dean Research and Development, Dean of DLC, Dean of Students Affairs, Dean of Sports, and Dean of and Bursar of the institution, and participants from our college and other different institutions. I am very much delighted that the Department of Zoology is hosting an international webinar on recent trends in immunostimulants application in aquaculture industries. I congratulate the department for having selected this suitable topic which is more useful and help the aquaculture industries. And before taking my felicitation, I appreciate the research scholars of zoology department. They are creating a wonderful video regarding the COVID awareness of the COVID-19. I congratulate the head of the department, Dr. Jagir Hussain, and their team members and the students who created this video. Truly, really is a wonderful one. And here at aquaculture has been growing rapidly for traction in the last few decades. Several commercial fish species have been cultured intensively in narrow or enclosed spaces such as ponds, cages, and tanks until the overcrowding or high density leading to adversely affect the health of the cultural fish with a potentially stressful environment and infectious diseases. Then immunostimulants comprise a group of biological and synthetic compounds that enhance the non-specific cellular and humoral defense mechanism in animals. These substances such as levamisole and glucan and peptidoglycan, cytin, cytosin, yeast, and vitamin combination, as well as the various products derived from the plants and animals, are effectively in prevention of the disease. I take this opportunity to thank our respected principal and head and the faculty members of the Department of Zoology and the distinct resource person for having provided this platform to impart the necessity and security-based knowledge on aquaculture industries. Regarding our resource person, Dr. K. Maribut is also he is well versed in the area of aquaculture, biostatistics, research methodology, biology of invertebrates and vegetables courses for BSc Honors of Biotechnology, and he is also specialized in the aquaculture, fish reproduction and breeding, fish immunology, and aquatic toxicology related research also. And he is also served as a deputy vice chancellor at academic and international affairs AIMS University in Malaysia in the period 2016 and 17. He had more than 38, he published more than 38 publications, and he has the citation 1,676 citations. He is a good and well-versed academician. He is the apt person to hold a special lecture in this international webinar also. I appreciate the organizer of this webinar and felicitate the beloved participants, students, and wish every one of you good luck and success. Thank you for the opportunity and wishing the webinar to be a successful one. And thank you, our principal and the head of the department and the Dr. Jagir Hussain and Siddhi Jamala Madam and their team members who created a wonderful video for this pandemic awareness. Thank you, Ananda. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Now we are to enter the core session of this seminar. And before the chief guest starts, I humbly request our most respected Dr. M. Ramlat Saburama, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, to give a few introductory words about our guest of honor. Please, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Respected dignitaries, faculty members, dear students, Assalamu alaikum. A very good morning to you all. It's now my great pleasure to introduce our chief guest. Really, we are gonna honor this morning by the presence of a chief guest, Professor Dr. K. Maribut, Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Applied Sciences, AIMS University, Malaysia, the speaker for our international webinar. He hails from an agriculture family, a son of the soil. With his dedication and commitment, he raised the top of this very high administrative positions. Dr. Maribut has completed his PhD from Manomanam Sundaraj University and has cleared ICAR-NET in the year 2001. He has joined as a junior research fellow in DST, and then he also served as a senior research fellow. Because of his dedication and hard work, he also raised in project instructor under DBT. Then Sir did his postdoctoral fellowship at the School of Biological Sciences, University of Science, Malaysia, from 2003 to 2005. Then he has started his career as a lecturer at Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Applied Sciences, AIMS University, Malaysia. Then he promoted and he attained various positions such as Associate Professor, Senior Associate Professor, Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academic and International Affairs. At present, he is working as a Professor at AIMS University, Malaysia. Then his research specialization areas are breeding and production of commercial important freshwater fishes, fish immunology, and immunomodulators in aquaculture. Sir has visited many countries and delivered many invited talk in universities like in China, Thailand, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Taiwan, and Indonesia. At present, he is holding different membership in professional bodies and university committees like Animal Ethical Committee and member of Board of Studies and Senate member in AIMS University. He has been appointed and served as PhD external examiner for almost all the universities of Tamil Nadu and Malaysia. Hats off, sir. Awards, if you see that he has received many awards, recently has received Excellent Researcher Award in Biotechnology in the year 2019 and 20. He has got a life shift membership from National Academy of Biological Sciences, NAPS, India, and also in Asian Fisheries Society. Sir served as a scientific committee member and panel member in various international conferences. He is an editorial board member in many journals, especially Indian Journal of Natural Products and Resources, and International Journal of Ichthyology and Fisheries, and is the editor-in-chief Journal of Ireland and Agriculture. Then he has guided many student projects in both UG and PG level. He is guiding many PhD scholars. He's completed many research works, especially in fish biotechnology. And he also received many research grants from different funding agencies, lump sum amount in Malaysia. And if you see his citations, really it is great. His citation is 1,831. His H index is 26. His I-10 index is 55. He has published many articles in various journals with impact factor 55, and including 33 index journals and 10 popular magazines and bulletins. He has participated and delivered invited talk and lectures in different conferences and presented many papers and also published many book chapters in books. Also conducted around more than 30 workshops on basic statistics and SPSS in various countries. Even he is an agriculturist, he is the lover of statistics. He is also expertise in gene bank sequences. Such an eminent researcher is with us to enrich us by his topic. His resume is very lengthy, so because of this time constraint, I'm reducing this. So he's with us. His topic is recent trends in immune stimulants applications in aquaculture industry. Really, I'm very glad to invite Dr. Marimuthu sir to take over the session on behalf of our department and our college. Welcome, sir. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the introduction. Our chief guest's profile is really very inspiring. Thank you, ma'am. Science is the poetry of reality. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking, said Einstein. May I humbly call upon our respected chief guest, renowned scientist, Dr. K. Marimuthu sir, Professor, Department of Biotechnology, AMST University, Malaysia, to give us some insights on the recent trends in immunostimulants in aquaculture industry. Please, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Dr. Jahir, is it visible, my screen? Dr. Jahir, yes. Can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rahmath ma'am, for introducing me. And very good morning, the principal of this college and controller of examination and vice principal, sir, and head of the department, and my best friend, Dr. Zakir Hussain, and participant from Sadakathullah College, and participant from various universities in India and outside the country. And a very good morning once again. And thank you for inviting me for this session to deliver the talk on recent trends in immunostimulants and application in aquaculture industry. And I also like to appreciate and congratulate the students who have developed the awareness video on COVID-19. Really, it's a fantastic, and I congratulate the team and the stakeholders who are involved in developing such a useful and enlightening video, and very well needed for the society nowadays. Okay, so with that, I would like to start my session, the recent trends in immunostimulants application in aquaculture industry. Is it audible? My voice is audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yes, Dr. Marimuthu.
Yeah, thank you, thank you. So I understand that the participants are heterogeneous and diversified population. So I have drafted this session. It's a very fundamental and basic, so that all the participants will benefit from the talk. And immunostimulant actually is one area of research, very narrow research, and very good application in aquaculture industry. And before we move on to the topic, I would like to cover some basic fundamental about aquaculture and aquaculture practices. What are the strategies being followed? And what are the ways aquaculture is practiced? And also like to give you some overview of aquaculture. Okay. And the slide you see here, this is the university where I'm working for the last 17 years, since 2005. Basically, it's a medical university, and we have MBBS, dentistry, pharmacy, and we also have biotechnology along with engineering, business, and physiotherapy, nursing, and foundation programs. It's a very green campus, around 450 kilometers away from Kuala Lumpur International Airport and close to Penang Airport. And we also have a couple of Indian students pursuing higher studies, and majority of the faculty members from medical faculty are from India, and very nice university, and working with them. So the presentation overview, and these are the area I'm going to cover for today's presentation. My research area already, ma'am has read my CV, and global aquaculture overview, and about fish production, capture fisheries, and production from aquaculture, and what are the challenges aquaculture industry we are facing today, and the immune system, a slight overview, and why chemotherapy, antibiotics, vaccination is necessary in aquaculture, and then move on with the application of immunostimulants, immunomodulators in aquaculture, and then some of the examples of immunostimulants, and the controller of examiner has introduced a little bit about the immunostimulant as well, and the examples of immunostimulants he has covered in that, and also function of immunostimulant. Even the pre launching a video, they have covered some of the Indian cuisines, and herbal supplements will boost the immunity in animals and as well as in human. So function of immunostimulants, and what are the factors will affect the efficiency of immunostimulants in aquaculture and feed formulation. And then what are the characteristics of an ideal immunostimulants, and end with concluding remarks. So my research area basically is fish breeding and reproduction. I have also done a couple of work on fish nutrition, and then started doing work on immunology, immunomodulators in aquaculture, and I have a couple of research papers on toxicology related in fish model, effect of pollutants and pesticides in fish model. So this is actually some breeding technology funded by the Department of Science and Technology. We have standardized, we have developed a breeding method and technology in India for a commercial aquaculture and safe production. And the fish is actually is very common fish in Tamil Nadu, in India. We call them viral mean in Tamil. In English, we call them as a snakehead fish commonly, and scientific name is a Channa striatus. By artificial means, we have developed the breeding technology. And this is another species in Malaysia, very commonly used commercial and edible fish species. And the Malaysian population, they love this, and they consider this as a very delicious fish species. So wherein I have used this fish model for teaching purpose as well as practical purpose for teaching aquaculture, and we have been offering aquaculture is one elective subject, and one among the practical is fish breeding. So I used to use this species for demonstrating breeding experiments for my undergraduate students, biotechnology students. And then I also like to give you some overview of aquaculture, and we have a different participant from other than science background. Also, some of the participants have enrolled this webinar. I'd like to appreciate and welcome all the participants for this session. So what do you mean by aquaculture? Many people, they think that aquaculture is the culture of only fish. So aquaculture actually is not only in culture of fish, also includes culture of fish, mollusks and crustaceans, culture of prawns, culture of crabs, culture of algae, like a spirulina. It comes under aquaculture. So globally, aquaculture has been practiced in several systems, freshwater, saltwater, and also aquaculture practiced in brackish water. And I have given you some of the important freshwater fish species, edible fish species. The first one you could see is actually a jade perch. It's actually native of Australia and very commonly commercially cultured in Malaysian fish farmer. And second one is a snakehead fish, and the third is a tilapia, and then the fourth one is a prawn, Macrobrachium rosenbergi. So then I also like to give you some overview of aquaculture, global aquaculture. We all know that fisheries and aquaculture will generate a lot of income and also is a main protein source, livelihood, nutrition for millions of people globally. And as per the Food and Agriculture Organization, the fish production was about 179 million tons in 2018. And the population is expected to reach 9.7 million by 2050 as per the FAO 2018. Hence, there is a great potential expected from oceans and inland water, contribute to produce more fish protein for food security as well as to meet the adequate nutrition for the burgeoning population. So this table will give you some idea about the fish production from aquaculture as well as from harvesting from fishes from the wild environment. For example, 96.4 million tons of fishes were harvested from capture, like freshwater lakes and the ocean, etc. And total aquaculture means 82.1 million tons were from aquaculture products from inland as well as marine brackish water aquaculture. Inland means a river and lakes, ponds, etc. This is actually the 2018 statistics. So then when you look at the sharing of capture and aquaculture, there was a statistics by 2020. In 2016, there were 47% of the fish we got it from aquaculture. 53% of the consumed fish we were got it from the capture fisheries. So the trend in 2030 is going to be slightly different. And there were reduction in inland fisheries, capture fisheries, and there is more production from aquaculture, around 54% expected targeted aquaculture production from aquaculture sector, and there is a reduction from the capture fisheries, aquaculture. So then I'd like to cover some importance of fish and aquaculture. And we all know that fish is very vital, very important source of protein for people. And about 3.2 billion people worldwide, they rely on fish as a primary source of protein. We all know that, right? So fish is very easily digestible when compared to other animal protein sources. It contains, as a wet weight basis, 80 to 20% protein, and it contains excellent source of minerals, vitamins, fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. And also it is good for cardiovascular protection, as well as many other neural development for child and etc. And compared to other animal protein sources, the fish meat actually is very easily digestible. Around, for example, you are consuming 100 grams of protein, fish meal, it is 95% will be easily digestible by the body and remaining 5% when compared to other protein sources. And compared to other vertebrate animals, farmed animals, fish actually has high multiplication capacity, meaning 1 kg fish can produce even 40,000 to 50,000, 100,000 progeny for the next generation. For us, for example, cow and cattle and poultry, which produces very less number of progeny to the next generation. So aquaculture, fish culture is so promising and highly revenue generating business. Okay. So many students are interested into venture into aquaculture industry. There is a good prospect. I would like to highlight on this. Okay, so fish actually high multiplication capacity, meaning produce more number of young ones for commercial farming. And compared to other animals, fish require very less energy for protein production. For example, 22 to 400 kilojoules of energy is needed for producing 1 gram of protein. Whereas in the cattle, livestock animals, which requires, for example, 550 to 3,400 kilojoules for producing 1 gram of protein. So further, fish actually is highly efficient. Reason they are cold-blooded animals, other vertebrates are warm-blooded. So to maintain the body temperature, we do spend a lot of energy. Hence, we don't gain much like fish species. For example, if you give 1.5 kg of feed, we can expect 1 kg of fish. Highly efficient. So they are highly efficient in converting the feed into flesh. So economically, so this is more viable when compared to poultry, when compared to cow, when compared to other farm animals. Highly efficient. So then I have also a little bit covered about fish contains essential fatty acids, amino acids, vitamins, and the essential minerals needed for our good health and well-being and also immunity. So in many developing countries, fish actually is one of the cheapest and richest source of animal protein and essential nutrients. And seafood means it consists of algae, it consists of seaweeds, it consists of mussels, it consists of clams, fishes, prawns, etc. Even culture of even amphibians, frogs comes under aquaculture. So everything we call them, collectively we call them seafood. And I also like to show you some photos so that the students and the audience will have some idea. The first one actually important freshwater fish species in India, Tamil Nadu. We have a snakehead fish, viral bean, and this is African catfish. It's not available in commercially not cultured in India, and also available in our Indian waters, and very common cultivable fish species in Malaysia and African countries. And this is a tilapia. We have a couple of tilapian species and widely domesticated aquaculture species globally, tilapia species. And this is called jade perch. It's a highly edible portion, more edible portion, very less what you call wastages. And these are some other freshwater fishes like marble goby, prawn, tilapia, common carp. So fishes, I'm going to cover mostly the inland water, freshwater fishes. Fishes have been cultured in several ways. Fishes can be cultured in small earthen pond or large scale earthen pond. Fishes also can be cultured in cement tanks, square tanks, plastic fiber tanks, raceways, floating cages, and string and rays. Fishes also can be cultured in monoculture and polyculture. Monoculture means culture of only one species. Polyculture means culture of several compatible fish species together in aquaculture system. And then next way of practices is integrated farming. Culture of fish and paddy together, culture of poultry and fish together is a kind of integrated, utilizing the resources and producing dual animal protein productions and gaining extra income to the revenue to the family, integrated farming. And then nowadays aquaponics is gaining much prominent culture of what you call fish and edible vegetables together, utilizing and reducing the pollution and also utilizing the nutrients available in the aquaculture used water, and simultaneously we do get fish protein and also we do get vegetable for consumption. And another technology is that is, sorry for the typo error, biofloc aquaculture technology is gaining much prominence nowadays in India as well as overseas. Biofloc. So I'd like to give you some of the images, photograph of fish culture practices before we move on to the today topic of recent trends in immunostimulants in aquaculture industry. So the background you see here, actually, this is a very simplest form of very commonly used aquaculture system, earthen ponds. It's a kind of very commonly used aquaculture system, global system. And this is also earthen ponds, cultivation in Panama, Indonesia. And one more species I wanted to highlight is a tilapia. It's very popular fish species. Can be cultured in any systems, highly tolerant, hardy fish, and high commercial value when compared to other freshwater fishes. Can be cultured in cages, can be cultured in rack, can be cultured in net enclosures, cement tanks, different systems, even floating cages, etc. So this is actually cage culture, very prominent. The cage can be instructed, what you call installed in the natural water body like lakes and rivers, wherein the fish can be introduced and feed can be fed, and we can easily monitor. And this is one among the popular fish culture system, cage culture. There are some advantages. And this is actually cement tanks and canvas tank culture. Canvas tank actually is a kind of portable. It's a polyethylene material. and easy to monitor. And for example, you have very less land area in your backyard, not underutilized or not used. So if you want to go for fish culture, you can start with small, simple canvas tank culture. Easily you can monitor, and water also can be circulated, and easily the fish can be harvested. Many benefits. The feeding also you can easily monitor. Harvesting also easy, and even disease management. Water circulation also can be easy when we go for this kind of canvas tank. So when I was doing postdoc in 2003, we have developed this canvas tank technology in Malaysia. Culture of tilapia, culture of African catfish using canvas tank. So very less area, we can go for high stocking density. Even for example, the dimension of the tank is 3 meter length and 1 meter depth and 1 meter width. We can stock 1,000 to 1,500 tilapia. We can expect around 500 kg of tilapia in one simple tank, high density aquaculture. Okay. So this is duckweed aquaculture system. They are kind of macrophytes, algae. Sorry, the macrophytes cultivation in cement tanks used as animal feed sources. So I have already mentioned that this is actually is the culture of fish and vegetables together. We call them aquaponics, raising a fish and vegetables together. Aquaculture used water used for cultivating vegetable, wherein the water is purified. Whatever the waste, the nutrients are available in the aquaculture used water, the plant can convert or plant can utilize it, and wherein the water is purified, the purified water again channelized back to the aquaculture system. Okay, so that is the beauty of it. You no need to release your aquaculture used water into the environment. We can reuse the water. So think about it, wherever water scarcity is there, like desert countries, they do follow aquaponics, wherever the minimum water available. So this way you can go for vegetable cultivation as well as fish culture. So the vegetables like lettuce, tomato, eggplants, pudina, coriander, even ginger can be cultivated using this method of aquaponics. So you also can go for, think about it, indoor aquaponic system. This is very common. And this is a fish culture tank wherein we introduce the fish, we feed them, wherein we provide aeration. We do also have a water circulation. So aquaculture used water we pump and channelized into this plant cultivation media. So the media actually says we can call them as a soilless agriculture. So there is no any soil. We use a kind of clay hydroton. It's a kind of pebbles or gravels, wherein the plant or what you call introduced. The water is pumped into this aquaculture, vegetable cultivation media. So water is purified. Bacteria also will be present on the substrate, wherein neutralize the waste and minimizes the pollutants. So we are not wasting the water, and moreover we are purifying the water and enhancing the water quality for aquaculture. So simultaneously we do get fish as well as vegetable for consumption. So this is a large scale aquaponic system. And in India, we are also very popular in paddy fish culture integrated farming. So culture of paddy and fish together is a very traditional way. We used to have it, culture of fish in a paddy field. So simultaneously we do get rice as well as the fish. So there are some advantages maintaining and going for a paddy fish culture. And this is also very common in Indonesia and also in Sri Lanka, and common in India as well, in some parts of Kerala. And this is another one. It's a culture of poultry and fish together, integrated farming. The poultry dropping directly delivered into the water. The water is directly fertilized by the poultry droppings, wherein the minimum nutrients is needed, minimum feed is needed. The poultry droppings, fecal material of poultry or chicken will fertilize the water to enhance the algal productivity, and primary productivity is increased, and we can also expect more productions. So the fish like tilapia and fish like catfish, snakehead fish can be cultured using this integrated farming. And biofloc technology is nowadays booming very well in India as well as in many countries. It's a biofloc is nothing but it's a kind of use of aggregates of bacteria, algae, and protozoans. They all put together and the matrix and converting the organic matter, whatever the feed we give them for the fish. So the debris will accumulate wherein these organisms can enhance, wherein the fishes, they can utilize the biofloc, wherein we can purify the water, and the small tank, we can go for high stocking density, and we can expect more production as well for biofloc technology. So what are things are needed? Suppose any students are interested into aquaculture industry, what are things that actually we need for going for aquaculture business? First of all, you need to have a land, you need to have a water, you need to have investment, you need to have training and experience, and you need to have a fish feed, reliable supply of fish seed, fingerlings. Seed collection from the wild is unpredictable. Hence, you have to have seed production on your own. The technology you need to learn, and then what you call the feed formulation, the technology also you need to learn. Okay, so these are the things are required for aquaculture. And I also like to show you some of the areas, fisheries related research areas. And some of the participants are students. So for them, they'll be useful. If you are interested in specialized in any particular field of the research, you are most welcome. There are some universities offering fisheries related program. There are some universities, they do focus on these different areas, and each and every area actually is a very separate discipline. Like a taxonomy, very nowadays the taxonomists are very limited. Fish biology, fish physiology. Someone will be interested in fish reproduction, cryopreservation of gametes, sperm and embryo, hatchery management, fish nutrition is one area of research. Live feed cultivation is one research. Fish disease management, immunology, probiotics, immunostimulant exploration is another area. Fish toxicology is one area of research. Aquaculture biotechnology, culture of monosex fish, chromosome manipulation, transgenic fish production, proteomics and genomics. So these are the different areas of aquaculture research, and there are many more I haven't covered. Maybe fish parasites and fish toxicology, etc. And if you are looking for any particular research paper for anything related to aquaculture and fisheries related research, you can look at this. Maybe later I can share these slides to Dr. Zohir and the head of the department for zoology department. And you can refer this. If you are interested in look for any specific research paper, you can refer these listed journals. And these are very popular research journals, especially in aquaculture and fisheries field, like aquaculture, fish biology, aquaculture research, aquaculture nutrition, and Asian fishery science. Even India, we have Indian Journal of Fisheries, fish and shellfish immunology. They are very popular aquaculture and fisheries related journals. You can look for the recent trends in aquaculture and fisheries that related the research. Okay, so we have been covered some of the basic fundamentals. And is there any kind of setbacks? Is there any problems? Is there any bottlenecks? Is there any problems in aquaculture industry? Yes. And we are investing a lot, and there is a more threat, there is a more risk also involved in aquaculture industries. So if you maintain, it's well and good. If you don't maintain, and you will end up with a problem and a great loss. Okay. So what are the challenges we are facing today in aquaculture industry is number of diseases, new emerging diseases, bacterial diseases, viral diseases, even parasitic infection, and medicines exploring. Not many vaccines and drugs are available. Pesticide use and again side effects, biofouling of structures, meaning other organisms will damage the aquaculture systems. Toxins are produced by algae, and also the toxins will affect the fish. Climate change, this all reduces the biodiversity and aquaculture protections. So overall, disease of fish actually is one of the major important limiting factor affecting the aquaculture industry worldwide. Okay, so this is a major problems in disease actually is a major problem in aquaculture industry. So globally, intensive aquaculture has been practiced. Intensive means culture of more fish, stocking more fish in a 1 square meter area, meaning 400 fish and 500 fish in 1 square meter area to enhancing the more productivity, fish protein productions. So I have already mentioned fishes are cultured in freshwater, saltwater, brackish water, and fishes are cultured in ponds and cages. So when we go for intensive aquaculture system, wherein when you stock more number of fish in an enclosed area, we are giving additional stress, overcrowding, stress to the fish, like during the transportation, during the handling, during the size grading, and this all will lead to suppress the immunity of the fish. So whatever the stress, artificial stress we give them to the fish will suppress the immunity, and also the fish to get easily susceptible to get disease. For example, even human also, when you are under stress, there is a more possibility to get other diseases. Okay, similar to fishes also, they do get diseases under a stress condition. So then I also like to cover some of the basic fish immunity or fish immune system. Like other vertebrate animal, fish also do have both specific and non-specific innate immune system. And what are the immunity organs or their lymphoid organs are there in fish, like a thymus, anterior kidney, spleen, also the immune response organs. Like vertebrates, they do also have innate as well as acquired immunity system. And fish contains a lot of physical barrier, meaning they do have a lot of mucus they produces, and also has got skin, has got scale. So these all a primary barrier. Whatever pathogen, whatever the external agents would like to penetrate the fish, so it has got a barrier. It will be wiped out. If the primary product, the primary barrier, the physical barrier doesn't work, the fish to get diseases. So not specific to any particular pathogen, meaning non-specific means not specific to any particular pathogen. The immunity will respond to any parasites or any viral or any kind of bacterial pathogen. So fishes are one of the most primitive vertebrate. They possess non-specific defense mechanism and has got a physical barrier like a skin, scales, and mucus. The mucus contains a lot of antimicrobial proteins, antimicrobial peptides. Even for example, lysozymes, there is one enzyme will kill the bacteria, destroy the bacterial cell walls, and also immunoglobulins are present in mucus. And we have also done a couple of research on characterizing the fish mucus. The papers is all my undergraduate and postgraduate students' work. And I have already mentioned there was one snakehead fish. It produces a lot of mucus. So we have characterized what are the constituents, what are the components are present, what are the enzymes are present in. And the fish mucus has got any kind of antimicrobial activity for specific aquaculture pathogens. So we have tested, we have elucidated the fish mucus has got antimicrobial proteins and also has got elicited antimicrobial activity and tested with a couple of pathogen, human pathogen and the fish pathogen. It shows that acidic extract of the fish mucus shown antimicrobial activity, and these are the zone of inhibition, etc. And then we have also characterized other enzymes present in fishes, fish mucus, in snakehead fish and other fish species, freshwater fishes. And these are the fishes we have characterized: Clarius, snakehead fishes, and locally available fish species in Malaysia. And we have quantified the different enzymes availability, the presence, lysozyme, alkaline phosphatase, esterase activity, protease in mucus. So fishes contain varies of the enzyme levels in different fish species. So among all, the snakehead fish is shown to be higher the enzymes activity, like alkaline lysozyme higher. So fish contains both the humoral and cell-mediated immune responses. They protect bacteria against viruses present in the body. We call them humoral immunity. So humoral immunity consists of lysozyme, hemolysin, immunoglobulin, cytokines, interferon, interleukin, macrophage activating factors. This all comes under humoral. Whereas in the cell-mediated means this will protect against organisms that have managed to infect the cells, infect the body cells. Okay, so we call them cell-mediated or cellular immunity. It consists of phagocytic cells, neutrophils, natural killer cells, and lymphocytes. These all components comes under cell-mediated. Okay, so how does pathogen infect the fish? How does pathogen infect the fish, and how does the disease occur? So fish contact a pathogen, or when a fish exposed with a pathogen, immediately the innate immunity, the natural immunity, will elicit the function. If the innate immunity doesn't work, like the physical barrier, skin, mucus, and the scales, it doesn't work, the pathogen penetrate the fish and will cause the disease. Right? If there is a success, there is no disease, the fish will be very healthy. Okay, the fish will be healthy. So when the fish got disease, then what are the things will be elicited? Like initiating the instruction of the specific immune response, like a humoral response will be elicited, acquired immunity and cell-mediated immunity will be activated in fish. So what do you mean by disease? Actually, anything abnormal. What do you mean by disease in human, as well as in any animal? Anything deviated from the normal condition, deviated from the body, normal state, health state. So there are several agents will affect cause the disease in fishes. We call them infectious, and other we call them non-infectious. So what are the things we call them non-infectious? What are things we call them as infectious diseases? Like infectious, we call them bacterial disease, fungal disease, viral diseases, parasitic diseases. Whereas a non-infectious, other than pathogens, infectious means will transmit from one individual to the other individual. We call them infectious. Non-infectious means the disease will not transmit to the other candidate, other individual. So like we call them nutritional disease, environmental disease, chemical disease, physiological disease, etc. Nutritional means any deficiency of nutrients. Environmental disease means any kind of deficiencies or excessive pH, less pH or acidic pH or alkaline pH, too much of alkalinity, too much of hardness, too much of ammonia can cause the diseases. We call them environmental diseases. Or increased level of biological oxygen demand, or any kind of pesticide, any kind of pollutants, we call them chemical disease. Physiological means any kind of abnormal development inside the body. We call them physiological disease. So disease causing organisms, there are several agents will cause the diseases in fishes, like a virus, bacteria, fungi, protozoans, even crustacean parasites cause diseases in aquatic organisms. So there are several diseases very common in fishes, bacterial, viral, and fungal diseases. So I'll skip some of the diseases and show you some photograph. Sorry. Can you please see here the photo? So these all parasites will affect Argulus. Even leech, aquatic leech can damage the aquaculture, create a disease and reduces aquaculture protections. Some are endoparasites, some are ectoparasites, very common in aquaculture industry. So then can you see here, this is actually a fungal growth. Also a serious problem in aquaculture industry, especially hatchery, fish seed production center. Very easily the fungal infection will be spread to other individuals. Looks like colorful, looks like like a more flowery kind of thing, but so painful it is. And a lot of antifungal agents also available, but it doesn't work many times. So very commonly available fungal diseases like species like Aphanomyces invadens, Branchiomyces, Saprolegionella. So this is very common in hatchery, especially where the breeding experiments will be conducted. And another one is called Aphanomyces epizootic ulcerative syndrome. This is very common in carps. This is very common in a kind of ulcer. We can see in the outside of the fish like injury. So this we call them epizootic ulcerative syndrome. The infective agent is Aphanomyces invadens initially and followed by the fungal infection. So control and manage the diseases. We have a chemotherapy and a couple of antibiotics, and so not couple of, several antibiotics have been used, like controlling chemical agents, controlling the diseases, bacterial, parasites, and fungal, like couple of antibiotics and chemotherapeutic agents like formalin, potassium permanganate, and copper sulfate have been used. And using this chemotherapy, there is a problem. And massive use of antimicrobial agents in aquaculture industry to control diseases, this will suppress the immunity of the fish. And also this will suppress the growth of the fish animal, what you call the fishes. So this also produces the drug resistant bacteria, emergence of drug-resistant bacteria. Again, give additional burden for the aquaculture industry. And then there is a belief that antibiotic accumulation in the fish tissue. So any farmers, any consumer, if they come to know that the fishes are treated with antibiotic, the fishes are treated with any kind of antimicrobial agents or chemotherapeutic agents. So there is a reduced consumer preference of purchasing your fish. Okay, so there is a problem for chemotherapy. And then vaccination also one of the approach commonly used, but vaccination actually is a very species specific. So nowadays we have a lot of vaccine for COVID-19. And again, the what you call the virus do develop mutation. So we do not know whether all the vaccine will work for all the mutant variety of the virus. So that is a what you call the problem setback for vaccine development in fisheries as well as in any kind of vaccine producer. Okay, so vaccine are species specific. It doesn't work for one vaccine will work for all the pathogen. No such. So the commercial vaccine very limited in aquaculture industry, and there is no vaccines available for any kind of parasites. So then, what do you mean by immunostimulant for the today topic? What do you mean by immunostimulant? Immunostimulant is nothing but a biological substances, a herbal supplements, a synthetic compounds will stimulate, will enhance the innate immune response components in fishes, in animals, in human. The natural substances in the first video, the COVID awareness video, the last section they incorporated healthy food, vegetables, fruits will enhances our natural immunity, the same thing. So prevention is always better than cure, even in animal as well as in human. Okay, so immunostimulant actually is a kind of prevention mode, enhancing the natural immunity so that your fish will be hardy, the fish will be more stronger, so that they will not get any kind of diseases. Okay, so the term immunostimulant is often used interchangeably, differently. Immunomodulants, adjuvant, biological response modifiers, immunomodulators are commonly used in textbook, commonly used in research paper. So there are several sources. They can be grouped under chemical agents, bacterial preparations, polysaccharides, like someone mentioned chitosan, the introductory, the talk given by the controller of examiner of this institution, and several herbal extracts have been explored. Nutritional factors, cytokines, antibacterial peptides have been used as immunostimulants. Even several microorganisms as a probiotic also been used as immunostimulants. Probiotic also will enhance the digestibility. Probiotics also enhance the immunity of the fishes. Several research have been conducted on probiotics, what you call stimulating the immunostimulants. So generally they enhance the natural immunity and make your fish is so hardy, and also widely used for impaired immune function. Okay, so like traditionally we used to consume garlic, ginger, and all our herbal supplements. They all used to elevate our immunity so that we don't get anything and everything diseases. If our body is so sensitive, do get diseases. Okay. So what are the functions of immunostimulants? What are the functions? They stimulate antibody responses. They stimulate the elevated level of enzyme activity like lysozyme. They also stimulate the complement system. They also stimulate the natural killer cells so that they can produce interferon, cytokines, etc. And also they produces the bactericidal activities like enzymes, alkaline phosphatase, esterases, proteases, and lipases are responsible for killing the pathogens. And so I also like to give some of the examples of immunostimulants like cell walls, like lipopolysaccharides, beta-glucans, chitin, chitosan, lactoferrin, levamisole, even vitamins E are recommended to have immunostimulatory activity. Animal and plant extracts like azathioprine indica and piperine, curcumin, ocimum sanctum, aloe vera extract, even Ganoderma lucidium, like one mushroom variety, being explored in aquaculture industry to showing the elevated immune response. So these are some of the examples. So among all the sources, beta-glucans have been explored very well as an immunostimulant in aquaculture industry. So beta-glucans are derived from several sources like yeast, plant material like wheat, rye, barley, and oats, and seaweeds. Variety of seaweeds have been explored and study about the beta-glucans, and mushroom also contains beta-glucans. Bacterial species, several bacterial species, the cell wall contains beta-glucans have been explored, as immunostimulatory activity in research. So several herbal immunostimulants also have been explored in aquaculture, as well as growth promoting, as well as antimicrobial agent, as a nutrients, as an immune response enhancer. So a leaf extract of Ocimum sanctum and other plants like Nelumbo nucifera, we call them lotus species, Solanum trilobatum, Thuduvale, and Pilanthus, Nelicae, and Asatrica, neem, aloe vera species, even turmeric, pepper, and moringa, kolanji, and mentha, even mango plants, mango seeds were explored in fish model to show the immunostimulatory activity. Several herbal plants, polygonum, and several herbal traditional plants were explored in aquaculture industry to show immunomodulator activity. And one among the mushroom varieties, Canodama lucidum, is a very edible mushroom tested in fish model to show the immunomodulatory activity, immunostimulatory activity. So this slide's little clumsy, and show you here the different herbal immunostimulant. What are the parts were used? Some herbal plants, a leaf, stem, and the root were used. Aerial plots were used, and what dose were used, and what mode of administration, immunostimulants. And some of the researchers, they go for intraperitoneal, and some through feed, and some through intramuscular mode. They tested, challenged with the fish pathogen, and what are the factors they what they studied in their research, and what dose they recommended, what dose they feel that effective dose consider as a effective immunostimulants also reported. And maybe these slides I will give it to you later, you all can refer. Okay, if anyone particular about immunostimulants, so this will be much relevant. So regarding these immunostimulants, we have also conducted several research, and one variety of plant is effect of mangosteen. That is one variety, and we have to, in Tamil we used to call mangostan fruit, and highly delicious fruit. In Malaysia also this is very delicious, and it contains a lot of phytochemicals, and we tested the different sources of mangosteen product, like a leaf and the pericarp, and we have also tested the shoot and tested with in African catfish, the juvenile fingerlings, and we tested effect of these sources on the African catfish. We assessed the hematological parameters. So this is actually the mangosteen plant and the fruit, and the pericarp contains a lot of phytochemicals, flavonoids, phytochemicals. So we have also found that the shoot extract was found to be higher growth rate, survival rate, and elevated the food conversion ratio when compared to other very lower food conversion ratio in the shoot extract when compared to other. And also the shoot extract was found to be elevated RBC and also elevated white blood cell counts, and followed by the hemoglobin count in fish model. Okay, so we tested mangosteen plant for immunostimulant activity in fish model. So another study we also conducted, one of my students, now he is in Australia, and we tested, normally we consume garlic, right? And the outer, the waste one, the pericarp, normally we don't consume, we throw away. So one of my project student, he collected the waste material after utilizing the garlic peel. The outer pericarp, we used it, we ground into powder form. The powder form were incorporated into the fish feed in different concentration, and we assessed the growth. Like we incorporated 0, 5, 10, 15 gram per kg feed, this concentration in fish feed, and the fishes were fed with the garlic incorporated feed, and we assessed the survival rate, we assessed the biochemical and hematological parameter. We found that there is no any toxicity, and further the incorporation of garlic has elevated the food conversion, reduced the food conversion ratio and elevated the growth rate. And we also found that, interestingly, the parameters like albumin, globulin, RBC, WBC were higher than the control. The fish were not fed with the garlic peel incorporated the diet. And then what are the ways the immunostimulants were tested? What are the ways the immunostimulants were tested? How do we study what herbal plants has got immunomodulatory activity or not? There are two approaches, in vivo approach, another one is called in vitro approach. In vivo approach actually is a protection test against the fish pathogen. What do you mean? We incorporate the immunostimulant through administration, diet or intraperitoneal or intramuscular. And again, after incorporation or after administration, we challenge the infected, administered fish with the pathogen. So whether the fish are stronger, fish are healthy, whether do they get disease or not, we tested. So this we call them in vivo effect to assess the survival when compared to the control group. We assess the growth rate, whether the herbal immunostimulant administered group, do they show higher growth rate? Do they show higher survival rate? Do they show higher growth rate, etc.? Will be conducted using in vivo approach. Whereas in vitro approach, indirectly we assess them whether any herbal or animal extract do contains antimicrobial activity, assessing kind of other tests like phagocytic test, like radical production, enzyme activity, and nitrous oxide productions, bacterial killing assay, antibiotic production, cytotoxicity assay, all can be conducted, indirectly assessing the immunostimulant, herbal as well as animal-based materials to prove the product has got immunostimulant activity. So several agents, bacterial, viral, and parasitic agents were controlled by immunostimulants, were controlled in aquaculture industry. Like the species like Aromonas, Salmonicida, and Vibrio species, Vibrio Salmonicida, and Streptococcus Yersinia rookerii were controlled by incorporating the immunostimulants, herbal as well as synthetic immunostimulants in fisheries research, and also been controlled by controlled for virus and parasitic infection were controlled by the immunostimulant application. So what are the factors will affect the efficiency of the immunostimulants? What are the factors, like what way we administer? Are we going to administer through the diet? Are we going to administer through the bath? Are we administered through intramuscular? Are we going to administer through the diet, through the feed? And then timing of immunostimulant, when we are going to, and how long we are going to expose the animal for immunostimulant, and how much dosage need to be administered. So each and every sources you are going to explore for immunomodulatory or immunostimulant, we have to look at these factors. Mode of administration need to be standardized, and the timing when it to be, and the different stages, the different susceptibility. Okay, some fishes, juveniles are so susceptible, easily they do get diseases. And once they reach the juvenile stage, somewhat very stronger. And then dosages, we also need to standardize. So these three factors will affect the efficiency of the immunostimulants. So mode of administration, there are several ways I have already mentioned. Mode of administration of immunostimulant, injection, bathing, oral through diet. And among all these, intraperitoneal also have shown positive results, but based on my experience and based on the research report show that incorporation of immunostimulants through diet, through feed is more commercially viable and non-stressful way of practicing and permitting a larger number of fish to be treated the way we go for incorporation of immunostimulants through diet. So timing of immunostimulant administration, immunostimulants may be administered separately or can be at combination with the vaccine also been given, and several research have shown that immunostimulants in combination with vaccine also incorporated in fish model. So immunostimulant must be administered to fish before they exposed to the pathogen to get infection. So that's what immunostimulant is a prevention, not a cure. Immunostimulant actually is a prevention, not for curing. So what are the advantages of immunostimulants? Immunostimulants are widely used and somewhat cheaper than other way of chemotherapy. And it facilitates the function of phagocytic cells, increase the bactericidal activity, stimulate the natural killer cells, complement system, lysosome activity, antibiotic response in fish and shellfish, and so that the fish confer protection against the pathogen and infectious agents. And immunostimulants are valuable for the control of fish diseases and also enhancing both specific and non-specific the defense mechanisms. And then what are the characteristics to be considered for an ideal immunostimulant? Suppose someone is looking for any herbal supplements, herbal resources or product, wanted to prove that is immunomodulatory. And what are the characteristics can be considered? It should be non-toxic, first of all. That should not give any side effect for the fish model. And that product should not be carcinogenic, not carcinogenic, and should not have any long-term side effects. And at therapeutic level, it should have short withdrawal period, meaning the residue should not be present into the body and should not affect the flavor and taste. And it should stimulate a wide range of non-specific immune response components against bacteria, fungi, virus, protozoan, and helminth, nematodes, parasites. And sometimes the breakdown products of the compound should be either inactive or readily biodegradable in the environment. That should not be give any kind of additional burden to the environment. And it should be having a defined chemical properties, composition or biological activity. If not, you have to go for study the biological activity, the biological components like phytochemical composition of the each and every the products you are going to go for exploring immunostimulator activity. And it should be active by oral route and should be stable both in native state and after incorporation into the food and also into the water. And it should be compatible with the range of drugs, including antibiotics and antihelminthic. And also that any test need to be conducted in a large scale. We should not, at the experimental level it proves, but we also need to study. The trial need to be conducted in the large scale in the field condition. So then only we can go for a commercializing the particular anti-stimulant in aquaculture industry. Okay, so I think I have come to the end for the session, and it was lengthy. I hope the session was useful. So immunostimulants can be a promising area. It's one area of research, alternative to vaccine and the antibiotics in aquaculture industry. So vaccination is a most promising, reliable method controlling diseases, but vaccination actually is a very species specific, and many diseases vaccination is not available and doesn't work. Hence, immunostimulant is a safer and use what you call friendly and than chemotherapy approaches, and has got wider efficiency when compared to vaccination. So immunostimulants may be a powerful tool for controlling infectious diseases and preventing diseases in aquaculture industry. So with that, I have come to the end of my session. And thank you so much for the organizer for giving this good opportunity to interact with. If there is any pertinent questions, I'll be happy to answer. You are most welcome. The session is open for questions. I leave it to the participants and leave it to the organizing secretary of this webinar. Thank you. So if there is any questions, please, I'll be able to answer. Dr. Zahid.
Yes, Dr. Mayuka.
Yeah, if there is any questions, most welcome.
Yeah. Participant, any question, you can raise your hand. I will allow you to talk. Participant, if you have any question, please raise your hand. I allow you to talk.
Sir, in the chat box, certain questions are there.
Oh, yes, great.
So that is what I know. Consuming any herbal supplements definitely will boost your immunity. So any kind of herbal supplements, that's what no, even COVID, this situation also, people are recommending go for healthy diet. Make your immunity stronger. So easily you won't get, you will get even disease, but the impact will be very less. That is what people are saying. Okay, so definitely immunostimulants will boost your immunity. Even consumption of probiotics like lactobacillus, herbal supplements, definitely will boost your immunity.
Sir, Professor Tamil Chelvi from ST Hindu College, Nagarkoil, she has asked 2 questions in the chat box.
Please,
Sir, can you say the role of aqua food in immunological response in human?
I don't think so, ma'am. Actually, we in human, we need to consume a lot of immunostimulants to have efficiency. The doses vary for even human to elicit the immunomodulator. Any other questions?
Dr. Marimuthu?
Yeah, Dr. Jahir, yeah, please.
Yes. So it is possible to increase the immunity through topical method of immunostimulants.
Topical method, maybe some herbal supplements can inhibit. Topical method, I don't think so, will boost the immunity. Like applying the, what you call the substances onto the body, right? I don't think so, this will boost.
Okay.
But the topical herbal supplements can be used as a herbal treatment, like controlling episodic ulcerative syndrome. While we were doing post PhD, for controlling episodic ulcerative syndrome, we used to go for treatment like neem and turmeric and little salt. We used to mix and we apply the infected fish to cure. And a couple of the research paper also available by Professor Anifa in St. Xavier's College. They have done it, and we have also done, and positive results shown. Topical application of this what you call the compounds in fish for controlling EUS. Yes, sir.
Sir, another question from Professor Chokkalingam Pillai, former HOD of ST Hindu College.
Yes, ma'am.
Is fish oil, omega-3 and flaxseed oil capsules an immunostimulant? Is it an immunostimulant?
Yeah, fish oil is immunostimulant.
Flaxseed oil capsules, omega-3, 6 and 9.
No idea, ma'am. Really, I don't no idea on the flaxseed consumption, whether it is immunostimulant or not. But consumption of fish oil, fatty acids, it shows that several health benefits, reducing the cardiovascular, even controlling for diabetic, there is a positive role. And neural development studies, consumption of fish on even controlling the cancer, the prevalence of cancer also in fish, people consumed with fish and people not consumed with fish. There is a reduced the prevalence of cancer in people consuming the fish product, seafood. Several reports say that. And one among the compound is the fatty acids from fish. The positive effect.
Madam, any other question?
Gilango from MSc microbiology student, how to prevent the fish culture industry from diseases, sir?
How to prevent the diseases? We have to maintain the healthy environment, incorporate the immunostimulants into the feed, maintain your environment, water quality parameters. And first of all, you need to get a healthy seed, actually, healthy fish for your fish culture. And the practices we need to be followed in a hygiene manner, so we can avoid diseases possibly. And we also can screen while where you are purchasing it, disease-free stocking material can be done, but 100% not very sure. Any other?
I think you've answered this. Sajan, a student has asked one question. Which method is best to boost our immunity, like oral or injection? Boost the immunity.
I think oral is somewhat easy to practice, even animal as well as in human. That's what advice. Consume a lot of herbal based products to boost your immunity. Even normal routine consumption of even garlic, ginger, pepper and curcumin, even curry leaves. These all will boost our immunity.
And what is the role of secondary metabolites in aquaculture disease? From St. Xavier's College, from your college only.
Oh, Sensei, okay. Secondary metabolites, not purified compounds were not much tested. So more research on these purified metabolites is needed. So if there is a more purified compounds, we no need to depend on the natural resources. We can synthesize in the laboratory if you come to know the purified products, purified compounds, the secondary metabolites. So so that we can avoid using the natural products. We can synthesize the compounds in the laboratory condition. We can use it. And even a lot of research papers on synthetic compounds on immunostimulator activity also been reported in fish model. Even nucleotides also being used as immunostimulants.
Madam Sangeeta, madam, you can ask.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Marimuthu, sir, it was a very wonderful and informative presentation.
Thank you.
I'm Sangeeta. I'm a PhD scholar in the field of aquaculture.
Oh, okay.
And I just wanted to know, what are the chances of infections being transmitted to the plants in case of aquaponics?
Chances of infection from fish to plant to fish or fish to plant?
No, from the water to the plants.
Water
Fish
to
to
actually,
plant.
when compared to soil-based agriculture, the chances of getting diseases in aquaponics is very, very limited. So the diseases normally spread through the root, majority the agricultural diseases.
So I just want to know if there are any bacteria.
So there is a more possibility in soil-based agriculture getting diseases for plant. But comparatively, aquaponics-based the diseases in plants is very, very limited. That's what so yeah.
Are there any screening techniques being done before the water is being released to the plants for any bacteria?
Actually, frankly speaking, my area is not in aquaponics, ma'am. So just I covered even the fish diseases. I'm not much the plant diseases. I'm not much familiar on this. But generally, based on my understanding, the diseases in soil-based will be more the prevalence, whereas in aquaponics-based is very, very limited. That's what I would say.
Okay, sir.
And, yeah, and very well used in desert countries, aquaponic system, and more productive as well.
Oh, okay, sir. If I just have one more question, if it is relevant, you can please answer.
Yeah, please.
I wanted to know if, like, from the live feed, there are more infections being passed on to the shrimps and fishes, more especially like EHP, microsporidium. And how can that be detected or stopped or before the live feed is being given to?
Could you
because
please,
more of the chances.
Could you please ask your question, ma? Repeat your question. I couldn't.
Like majority of the chances are high of infection for EHP, that is enterocytosome microsporidium.
Okay.
To shrimps and through the live feeds which are being given. So how can that be stopped or detected?
No idea, ma'am. No idea. No such.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, I don't have much idea.
Thank you, sir. It was an informative session.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
It was very nice. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Any question from chat box? Madam, any question from chat box?
Can you please tell mechanism behind the immunostimulants? Virendra Kumar is asking, can you please tell mechanism behind the immunostimulants?
Mechanism, ma'am.
Mechanism of immunostimulant.
That's what I mentioned, right? So this will all boost the whatever we consume through your digestive system, will reaches your blood circulation and boost the macrophages and also natural killer cells to produce interferon, interleukin, and etc. to boost the immunity.
One question in chat box. Is aquaponic method culture carried out in Tamil Nadu? Is there any research paper in aquaponics?
I think Fisheries College, they have been conducted. I think they are working on it. Fisheries College and some private institution, they are working on it. Private body, private companies. I think Coimbatore and some places in Tanjavur also, they are working on aquaponics. In some places in Kerala also, I knew that people are working on aquaponics. Some institution. I could see some research paper. Has come from Tamil Nadu as well.
So, Dr. Chakalinga from ST Hindu College, he asked, tell me some example of immunostimulant drugs.
That's what I mentioned, some herbal. That's what I mentioned, some of the herbal products. In aquarium industry, there are a couple of products comes with immunostimulants incorporated feed, medicated feed used in Malaysia.
Okay.
Medicated feed for ornamental fisheries, ornamental fishes.
Okay, any more question from participants? Or if you want to ask question, you can raise your hand. I will allow you to talk. Okay, thank you. Subin?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Can we go for yes?
Yes, sir, we can move on. Thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful presentation and also for your guidance to the students. The session was really very simple, but it was very informative, and every one of us, we got a clear idea on aquaculture and its challenges, and also on immunostimulants. I'm sure that this presentation will benefit the audience of all the classes. Thank you once again, sir. And I also thank all the participants for being interactive. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. And now we are at the end of today's program. Thanking is the best prayer that anyone could say, as it expresses extreme gratitude, humility, and understanding. Now, I request the always young, dynamic Dr. M.A. Zahir Hussain, sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, to deliver the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon to one and all present in this webinar. I am privileged to render the vote of thanks at this time. First of all, I thank the Almighty for having given the opportunity to conduct this webinar in Grand Land. I sincerely thank our college secretary, Alhaj T.S. Padur Abani sir, for his constant encouragement and support towards the conduction of this kind of program in our college. I am glad to express my sincere thanks to all the committee members of our college for their enthusiastic support. I would like to acknowledge my sense of gratitude to our principal, Dr. M. Mohammed Sadiq sir, who has been constantly supporting us in all the venture of our department. Thank you, sir. Next, it is my duty to thank our Vice Principal, Dr. S.M.A. Sayyid Mahmood Khaja sir, who makes his valuable presence in all our events. Thank you, sir. I am very grateful to the resource person of the day and also very good friend of mine, Dr. K. Marimuthu, Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Faculty of Applied Science, AIMS University, Malaysia, for his mind-blowing session, which ignited the young minds, which is very interesting, which have a lot of information. So I hope all the participants will get the information they will carry for their research. Thank you, sir. Team wins team. Yes, it is a right occasion. I have to thank our team leader, Dr. M.C.T. Jamila Madam, HOD of Zoology, for her wonderful coordination in organizing this webinar. Thank you, Madam. I also extend my heartfelt gratitude all the staff member of UG and PG department. Thank you. I thank all the participants for the enthusiastic participation and making so many queries and questions to make this event a successful one. Thank you, one and all. I once again thank all of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. All praise be to the Almighty. I thank everyone for your participation and kind cooperation. I request all the participants to kindly fill in the feedback form, and the certificates will be sent to your mail. Thank you. Thank you all once again for making this program a great success. Praying for the safety of everyone. Thank you, everyone. Assalamu alaikum.